Hello, Gold here, and today we're going to look at not just how to get our new underground bunker for our camps, but there's also a key that'll save us a little time and trouble that unlocks an interesting story in case you haven't seen it yet. And for some people, they may think this is not a big deal. For me, I really like to build my camp up, so this gives me the ability to put some of the things that I don't really want in my camp but I need in my shelter, and then build my camp around my vendors and around display cases and things like that. But there's also a very interesting storyline that I expect to be expanded upon over the next few weeks and couple of months. So let's get started. To begin claiming your underground bunker, it's really easy to do. Just go to absolutely any train station in the Wasteland here. And as you can see, I'm rolling up on the train station. And look for the bulletin board. And once I see the bulletin board over here, then I'm just going to read it. And once I read it, well, not that one, but this one. Once I read it, now it will activate a quest that will take me to claim my free bunker. But before you do that, look under your miscellaneous tab. Look under your miscellaneous. Let's go right here. And you'll see investigate the corpse at the isolated cabin. Now I'm going to do this before I go get my shelter. And the reason I'm going to investigate this corpse first is because this is where we find the key that we're going to need at the shelter to unlock the computer password. And it just so happens I have my camp placed right near where this isolated cabin is. This was just pure luck, I guess you'd call it. So I'm going to fast travel to my camp and save myself a few caps. I'm just going to travel there to start with. Now, as you roll up on the isolated cabin, you basically just going to, it's really easy, this aspect is just going to approach the front porch, and a couple of notes here that just give you a little insight to the storyline. So check them out. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on these two. You have the first note, and then you have the second note. And they just give you a little backstory to what we're fixing to see. Now I'm going to go in and search this corpse, and notice he has a Vault 51 Overseer is his name, and he has Ruben's safe key along with a checklist and shelter building supplies. So if we get these, we see the checklist, distract him. And at the bottom, kill Zax. Find anyone from 76. So he was obviously looking for someone from Vault 76. So this is going to turn out to be a pretty good storyline. And here we see some building materials, a list of things he needed to apparently build something. We don't know what yet. So now I'm going to activate find out what the key unlocks under my miscellaneous. And this is actually going to take me to the same location that if I were to come to claim my shelter first, but I wouldn't have been able to do both of these at the same time had I not got that key first. So let's get on up here. I'm going to have to travel, as you can see below it, and I'm going to have to run up here. So once I'm inside this shelter, notice the entrance to that shelter. That looks exactly like the shelter entrance we're going to get for our base. I basically just go up to Mr. Clark here, have a little conversation with him. I'm going to cut it short and just get my shelter here. But there are several different options that you can get a pretty good little idea of the backstory as to what this key is going to unlock and do for you.
Welcome to the Appalachian Shelters Claim Center, visitor. I'm called Mr. Clark. It's my job to help eager new customers such as yourself take your first step into the miraculous world of shelters. Oh, cursory analysis suggests you are likely here to... Goodness. Forgive my tone. I'm experiencing some memory issues. As I was saying, a bright-eyed visitor like yourself must be here to claim your free shelter today. Is that right?
Okay, so I'm here for a shelter. I want to claim it.
Splendid.
And that's pretty much all I need from him right now. But make sure to go through all of the conversation options that you have. It gives you a little idea of what else we're going to find here, too.
Distribute your free shelter to you.
So here I'm going to go just around to the back to this terminal over here. And looking at all this stuff, it looks like some of these things can be picked up, but I didn't find anything that I could pick up other than, a couple of scrap items here or there. It's not a bobblehead there, even though it looks like one. Now, under the claim terminal, there'll be 3 sections or 4 sections, as you can see. I'm going to register as a new owner, but there was an option at the bottom that I could enter a password and find out some more information. So take the time to read all these, because this leading up to what I think is going to be another storyline that's put in. So it's good to check it out. There's also a help section basically that shows you or walks you through building your camp here, placing your new bunker. Just going to breeze through this really quick, but you can see there's multiple sections. It's worth taking a little gander at and checking out. So now I'm going to tell Mr. Clark that I did it. So I want my shelter.
Visitor. A marvelous new world of home expansion awaits. I'll distribute your free shelter to you, along with some materials to build your shelter's entrance, as a personal thank you for being my customer. Before we part ways, visitor, is there anything else I can help you with? Then allow me to extend a warm Shelter's Claim Center.
But before I leave here, notice that stash box. Looks like a stash box back there, orange and blue. I'm gonna run back here to it, and that's where Ruben's safe key works. Notice there's a passwords in here, and that password is for the computer that was behind me, and it's definitely worth the read, because it basically, I don't want to spoil it, but it basically tells us that there are still people in Vault 51. So now I'll go back to my camp, and to place this underground bunker, this is going to be really handy. I'm pretty excited about building this up for myself. You're just going to go all the way to the right on the top tab, or R1 several times till you get to shelters. Now you can see that this shelter, this entrance, this is just the entrance, can be placed anywhere in your build area, on the ground, or if I want to, in my house. And I'm gonna come up and I'm just gonna put it right here in my living room. To enter it, just walk up and enter your shelter. Now what I like about this is once you get down in it, it's not extremely large, but it's perfect to like put my bedroom and all that stuff in, or to maybe even set up something else, because I think people will be building or visiting other people's shelters pretty regularly just to see what they're doing down there and what they got set up. But when I press my build menu button, as you see here, I have a totally different budget for my shelter than I do for my camp. So this is good. This is not going to interfere with your camp. You can put down here things that you want to keep. You could lock it up and possibly stash some things down here, and hopefully you can keep people out of it. But it's a totally different budget, which is a really big benefit. And the rules to shelter building do not apply down here. Notice I'm putting this bed way up in the air, floating in the air, and I'm gonna lay down and take me a nap after all that hard work. All right, well, that's how we get the shelter. I'm gonna look more at the passwords a little bit later, but for now, I hope the video helps. Thanks a lot for watching. Gold out.